Today we're going to be fixing your procrastination. And the first thing you have to understand is that you're not avoiding your task because you're lazy. You're avoiding your task because your brain learned to panic first. So stop panicking. We're going to be fixing your procrastination like a boss. Procrastination is not a problem of discipline. Procrastination is what happens when your nervous system treats your work like a threat. And that is why a simple report can make your mind suddenly be searching for all possible activities that are unrelated to be doing. Getting a new planner app will not solve this because the problem is not your calendar. The problem is that your body learned to panic before your mind even has a chance to get started and working. And that is why panic is the strongest in the very first few minutes. But then it starts to drop. So today we're going to be learning why this happens and how a 5-minute method will help you to get past it. You must understand that procrastination is a panic response because you cannot fix what you keep mislabeling as laziness. That's not the case. When you try to start a task that you have been avoiding, your body may react before your mind can help you. A small part of your brain called the amygdala starts firing. And the amygdala is your alarm system. Its job is to detect danger and protect your body, right? So what happens next? You panic. Your heart rate goes up, your breathing gets shallow, stress chemicals such as cortisol, adrenaline start flowing through your body. You panic. Your body is now preparing to fight or flight, even though the so-called threat is just doing a little bit of homework, a report, a spreadsheet. Why does that happen? Because your brain learned that this task is uncomfortable. It comes with pain. Maybe the task is boring. Maybe the task is confusing. Maybe it's something you don't like to do. Maybe it brings the fear of failure, of doing something wrong, fear of judgment. And here is the trap. When you escape, you feel relief. Your brain learns that avoidance now equals safety. That is why procrastination gets even worse. Procrastination is often a panic response that you learned. So you must use the 5-minute bargain because the panic is strongest at the entrance and it is weaker once you get things going. Here's the good news. The stress you feel at the start of a difficult task does not keep rising forever. In many cases, that stress is strongest just in the first 2 to 3 minutes. Then the stress goes down on its own. So your job is not to feel motivated. Your job is to stay in the task long enough for your body to feel that drop of stress. And that is the 5-minute bargain. You are not promising to finish the report. You're not promising 30 minutes of deep focus. You're only promising yourself 5 minutes of very simple work. That you just get started. Open the document. Write the initial sentence. Copy and paste some outline. Just write a few bullet points. Why does that work? Because the stress reaction is usually stronger in the beginning. But if you begin, it's going to be okay. If you stay in that task 5 minutes, instead of getting distracted, escaping, your body starts noticing that it's not so bad, it's not dangerous, it's okay, and then you calm down. The goal is not to do the whole work yet. The goal is to teach your nervous system that the task is survivable. And once the panic starts dropping, something very important happens. Continuing often feels easier than stopping. This is not just motivation. This is retraining your brain. So here are more steps that will help you to turn this into a stable daily practice instead of a one-time rescue. I'll give you the full system visiting the link arata.se/done. You must lower the barrier to starting because the first 5 minutes, they become easier when the entire environment stops working against you. The 5-minute bargain already works on its own. But you can make those first 5 minutes easier by changing the conditions around that task. The first amplifier is to change your location. If you have procrastinated many times, in the same chair, in the same desk, in the same room, now your brain starts linking that place with tension and avoidance. So if you move, for example, to a coffee shop, a library, or another room, or even another chair, you're weakening that old connection. The new place is now giving your nervous system fewer links, fewer old signals to react to. The second amplifier is called body doubling. Body doubling means starting a task while there is somebody else, a calm person nearby, maybe a video call. That person doesn't need to talk to you or interact with you. Only their value, their presence is already helping you. Why does that help? Because another person, ideally a focused person, in the same situation will make the whole situation less chaotic, less threatening. And you'll have more incentives to get things done because more people working together, for example, in a co-working space or in a cafe, you see there people working, sitting, typing, focusing, reading. Your brain gets a clear signal, okay, this is what we're supposed to do here. We're supposed to work. It is also some gentle accountability because it feels less natural to be, doing random stuff. Unlike your home, now you have places that you can stand up, you can go to open your refrigerator, right? You can get distracted. The third amplifier is to turn the timer into a game. You set a visible timer for 5 minutes and give yourself one tiny challenge. For example, writing 3 ugly sentences before your timer ends. That is a small game. This helps because your brain now has one clear target, and that makes the anxiety weaker. These are not random tips. These are 3 ways to make starting feel less threatening. And you must do a bargain now. Because insight only changes your life when your body gets a new repetition. You will pick one task that you have been avoiding for at least 3 days. Don't choose the biggest task, the hardest task in your life. Just choose one real task that you have been postponing with your procrastination. And then write that task down using one sentence. Next, write one more sentence explaining what is scaring you about that task. Maybe you're afraid that your quality is not going to be good, or you're going to be making a mistake. Maybe you're afraid of failing. Maybe you're afraid that the task is more difficult than you want to admit. And that step matters because vague fear feels stronger than clear fear. When you name your fear, it becomes less scary. And then you put your phone in another room, physically out of reach, so your phone will not distract you. And then put a timer, 5 minutes. Start your task. Begin with the easiest point to get started. Maybe you type one sentence, put your initial thoughts, and then see what happens. You're not trying to do amazing work yet. You're just trying to teach your nervous system that it is okay to get started. And when your timer ends, if you want, you are allowed to stop. But very often, once that initial stress has dropped, continuing will feel less complicated than stopping. Remember that procrastination is often not a discipline problem. It is a trained panic response. Your brain learned to treat certain tasks as threats, and every escape is reinforcing that pattern. The 5-minute bargain works because the stress does not stay high forever. If you stay in your task for just a few minutes and keep moving, your body will start learning that it is okay, that particular task is safe. You're not lazy, you're not frightened, and that fear can be retrained. You can start your first bargain now, and to work together with me, you can go to the link arata.se/Don.